Have you ever wondered what goes into the aftermath of a huge storm like the one we had here on Monday? With downed wires, broken stoplights, and traffic galore, we have you covered. Joining us now to answer some of these questions is Deputy Chief Curt Lawson of the West Bloomfield Police Department. Thank you so much for joining us, Curt.
Great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course. So we were wondering, what residual effects are you and your crew still seeing after the storm?
Well, obviously during the storm on Monday, it's a several-hour event. We had over 200 phone calls between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. on Monday, over 300 different radio transmissions between our dispatch center, the police, and the fire department. The fire department themselves had 28 different runs that were weather-related. The police department responded to 21 different calls of traffic, whether it's a traffic crash or lights were out within the community due to the power outage. But we were pretty busy, but actually we got off kind of easy compared to neighboring areas. Commerce Township got hit really hard, Waterford got hit really hard. And I looked at the DTE outage map yesterday, and there was still 260,000 families that were without power. And earlier this morning, we're still around 200,000 in Southeast Michigan. So it was a significant event. And fortunately, we came out looking pretty good here in West Bloomfield.
It's crazy. You don't really expect to have storms like that in the area that we're in. So,
yeah, the winds were substantial, no question about it.
So what response does the West Bloomfield Police Department have for storms like this? Like if you were to get a bunch of calls regarding you guys to come out and help?
Well, we always monitor the weather, so we upstaff during these incidents. We stay in great contact with the fire department, so we make sure we have enough personnel on scene to be able to deal with anything. And then, if we do get a tornado or a significant incident, we can call our neighbors in from neighboring departments, police and fire, to help us out. We work very well together. We always have, and we always will.
What do you think the community can do to decrease the chances of danger in situations like what came through on Monday?
Well, we certainly always ask them to monitor the weather. They should have emergency kit available, flashlights, fresh batteries, first aid kit. You should have some bottled water, emergency food. Make sure you're prepared. Listen to the weather, National Weather Service. If there's a warning, a tornado warning or a storm warning, seek shelter. Make sure that you can go down into your lower level or the lowest part of the house where there's not windows. Just be prepared for the unexpected.
So if you were stuck outside and you had no way of getting inside somewhere, what should you do?
Well, certainly, your car is a safe place for the most part, or a neighboring business you can go into. We always recommend, if there's flooding, you don't want to drive your vehicle through high water or anything like that. And one thing I'd mention is a lot of people these days, they have generators, which is a great thing, especially when you have power outages. But you got to remember to keep those generators outside of the home, away from something that is combustible. Don't leave your generator in your garage, even if it's open. You've got to have that generator outside of your residence, freestanding away from the structure.
So if I know the wind was really bad and a lot of trees were being thrown around and a bunch of wires were found down on the ground, what should people do if there is a wire, if it's live or dead or whatever?
Well, we saw, unfortunately, a circumstance, I believe it was in Oakland County, where a young girl had touched a wire by mistake. So if there's wires on the ground, you don't know for sure if it's a cable wire, a telephone wire, or electrical wire. So you want to stay at least 20 feet away. And remember, if it's an electrical wire, it might be touching something like a metal fence. Stay away from the area. You want to stay at least 20 feet away. I'd recommend even farther. Don't be touching any metal fences or anything that could be touching that wire. We call the police, call 911 or the fire department. We'll come off and we'll rope off the area, get a hold of DTE, and they'll come out and take care of the problem.
I think I actually did see that article. I think I heard that there was someone else with them and they were touching them and they got electrocuted as well. So does that mean if you see someone touching a wire, you shouldn't even go near them? You should just wait for first responders?
Absolutely. I mean, certainly if you see a young child walking near a wire, you yell out to them, remove them from the area, verbally. We want to come out and, like I said, rope off that area and make sure people understand or they know visually that it's a dangerous area, we'll put police tape up, and the fire department's great about coming out and helping us out with that.
So I actually know someone who posted a video that day that the storm came through, and it looked like the lightning hit something and it started on fire. It was just sparking and the entire neighborhood was lighting up. What is the protocol for something like that?
Give our 911 center a call. We'll dispatch both police and fire, evaluate the situation, and get a hold of DTE, and they'll come out and take care of the problem.
So do you have any statistics of storms in the past, I guess of the damage that's been done that people have filed with the police? Do you have any statistics saying like what the worst storm you've dealt with has been?
I don't have that handy on me right now. Certainly it's Michigan, so every day is different. Storms come through. Today's going to be a beautiful 83-degree day, and next week we could be down into the 60s. You just don't know. So you just always need to be prepared when you live in the state of Michigan. Like I said, have that emergency kit handy. Have a plan with your family. If something were to happen, whether it's a tornado, where are you going to meet? How are you going to communicate? Those things are very important to think ahead of time.
Do you have anything else to share with our viewers? Our time is kind of wrapping up, but if you have anything else to share, I would love to hear it.
So one thing I've seen in the last year is we've had an uptick in the number of stolen vehicles within the township. If you have a Dodge Challenger or a Dodge Charger, we're seeing a lot of those vehicles being taken within the township. Obviously, we're trying to upstaff and counter that. But we highly recommend that you have cameras on those vehicles, lighting outside if the vehicle's kept in your driveway. But if all possible, put those vehicles in your garage.
So I guess my last question is there a website that our viewers can come look at to check out what the responses are? Anything about the police and fire, everything in the area?
Sure, they can go to the West Bloomfield Police website. There's actually a live crime mapping there so they can see what's going on in their neighborhood. Check out our social media, our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We keep it very updated. It's a lot of great information on there. We collaborate with our community partners, and we push a lot of information through our social media.
Thank you so much, Curt, for answering some of our questions we've all had in terms of inclement weather and the police department's response. Thank you so much for all you do for the community, and I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.